Hey, Dave. Hey, why'd you remember my name? We work at the same cubicle, right? Okay, see ya.
Can that be changed?
It can.
With
Again,
an adult?
it can, but it's going to take work, right? Because we're still looking at this. They have to be willing. They have to be willing because it's a very dominant presentation.
Yeah.
These guys are hard. They're a hard case because they're very brilliant. They can smile back at you. But as far as being warm and fuzzy, love you. Why did you say that in front of everybody? Okay. Nurturing? No. You get 5 bounces tonight. There you go. Go to bed. We did the routine. Right? I know I'm supposed to, but don't make
They
me.
quantify anything a bit. I love to watch them struggle to try to quantify emotion.
Exactly.
There's got to be a way to make that a number, and I haven't figured it out yet, but I will.
It is.
We'll be able to communicate.
It's time. It's time. I sat with you at dinner. Now I'm going on my motorcycle ride. Bye. Okay? We were together 3 days this month. Don't ask for more. Okay? And so some of you are kind of nodding and smiling because you recognize that in the adult. And it's tough because you also observe it then in some of the relationships of your children, your marrieds, and you see, again, generally the man who quantifies it all and he says, well, yeah, I did it and I'm doing my part. What are you asking for? What do you want more? Right? And he's a great guy. He's providing. He's doing his part.
Does that have the same to do with common sense too? Because a lot of those brilliant people have no common sense.
Correct.
As well. The same
That's social,
same stuff.
right? Common sense has to do with also social norms, right? I mean, you walk in and somebody's burping at the table at Pizza Hut after everything. Yeah, they might be a party of 14-year-olds. I mean, I took a group of them down to Lake Powell 2 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. I was ever that age. Did we really do that? I don't remember thinking that was that funny, but amazing. Okay? But the answer is, if it persists beyond that, yes, it's a problem.
So do you say, hi honey, lay down, do some snow angels, then we'll go on a date?
I'm going to roll you over now. Check for
Rolling to the
bald spots.
left. Can you keep rolling to the left? Some more? No, there is no end to this one. This is infinite. Remember this sign? Let's go back to calculus. We'll go ahead and do this one. To negative. Sure.
Serious.
Yes.
Okay.
But the answer is yes. I'll actually go over a couple more things for you because it's pretty neat when you actually start to see the changes in an autistic person and the calming. You can actually see when we start to get several of these points calmed, their whole affect change. Okay? And you do just a couple of simple exercises and all of a sudden it's like, wow, that was kind of cool. Okay? Ashley, how much time do we have? 5 minutes? Okay, I'm going to finish up this in 5 minutes and then I'll answer some questions. Asymmetric tonic neck reflex. When you turn your head to one side or the other, okay? When you see your child crawling, before a child crawls, so we call this crawling, it's the cross crawl, right? We call that crawling. It's really called creeping, okay? When you look at the neurology world, that's actually creeping, okay? The cross crawl, the bear crawl, is actually creeping. Before that, true crawling is the military or the lizard crawl like this, and they have to be down on their tummies, and it's going to be side to side. When you look at the asymmetric tonic neck reflex, what you'll see is you put the child on all fours, and you turn their head to one side, and their opposite arm, their elbow will bend. Okay? So I'll try to get to where everybody can see this. When you turn the child's head and you see the opposite elbow bend, like this is an example of asymmetric tonic neck reflex. Normally what you should see is nothing. Okay? Everybody see that? Let me show it one more time. Normally when a child turns their head and they're on all fours, if they have accommodated the true crawl, the homolateral crawl, and they've gone through that phase of development, when you put them on all fours and you turn their head, their elbow doesn't bend. If their elbow bends, you're actually looking at a pass of one of those developmental stages of brain. Okay? So this is the child that, oh, Timmy was so amazing. He went straight from being on his hands, he pushed himself up, and all of a sudden, in a week he was standing, and he skipped crawling altogether. He's been walking ever since he was 9 months. He didn't even crawl. He's so amazing. Really? Timmy's got a big brain problem. Okay? So the other thing that really frustrates me is when I see parents and they put their child into those bouncy seats before a child can even hold himself upright, sit on the floor. You put them down on the floor, and as soon as you put them on the floor, they're falling over, right? And you set them back up. Oh, he can't hold himself up. Let's get one of those little bouncy chairs. Put him in those. And now he's standing up, bouncing, instead of spending tummy time. Okay? Because he is so frustrated, every time we put on his tummy, where did he roll? To the right. And he lays there and he's uncomfortable. He cries and whines for you to come and help him up. Has a big bald spot on the back of his right side of his head. Right? So as we start to look at these developmental sequences, it's essential that we observe what is really happening. Timmy running before he crawled is not normal neurologic development. Okay? And he's missing a milestone. Does that make sense? Okay. Treatment for asymmetric tonic neck reflex. Put them back on their tummy. Make them do a homolateral crawl. This is what you'll see, especially in an attention deficit child. You'll see them, and they'll go just like this. They'll crawl, and then they'll drag. Like this. Okay? Have you ever seen children that do that? They don't actually crawl, they drag. How many of you have seen children that do this? This is their crawl. Have you ever seen those? That's more of a dislocated hip. But you'll see it. And they'll scoot. They'll be scooters. And when you actually look at their hip, they've had a hip dislocation in infancy, and they'll scoot because they can't crawl. They can't bear weight on it. And